In this video, we are going to discuss about the kingdom Monera, which is one of the 5 kingdoms under the 5 kingdom system of classification. So, kingdom Monera includes the most ancient forms of life. It includes the most ancient form of life, and next, being the earliest form of life, they are adapted to all forms of habitat. So, Kingdom Monera, that is, the organisms that belong to Kingdom Monera, are adapted to all forms of habitat. That means it can survive under extreme conditions of environment. It includes bacteria, cyanobacteria or blue-green algae, and archaebacteria. Archaebacteria are those bacteria which can survive under extreme environmental conditions in extremes of temperatures or in extreme saline environment or acidic environment. Then some other groups of Monera are Mycoplasma, Rickettsia and Prokaryota. This prokaryota comes from two words which is in Greek. Pro means before and karyon means nucleus. That is, the word prokaryota means before nucleus. That is, it does not have any well organized nucleus. So next we come to bacteria, which is under kingdom Monera, and for studying kingdom Monera we will consider bacteria as our main resource for studying kingdom Monera. So bacteria were first seen by Dutch lensmaker Anton van Leeuwenhoek in 1683, who named them animalcules. So from the left, first one is the picture of Anton van Leeuwenhoek, and he named them animalcules. So the bacteria were first seen by Anton van Leeuwenhoek in the year of 1683, and he named them animalcules. Next, Louis Pasteur, the second from the left in above. Louis Pasteur made a detailed study of bacteria and he proposed the germ theory of disease. So he studied the germs or bacteria from 1822 to 1895, for a long time, and then he proposed the germ theory of disease. Next is Christian Gottfried Ehrenberg. In 1829 was the first to use the term bacterium. So the term bacterium was coined by Ehrenberg. And then came Robert Koch, who found that some diseases like tuberculosis, cholera in man and anthrax in cattle are caused by bacteria. The branch of science that deals with the study of bacteria is called bacteriology. Next we come to the characteristics of bacteria. So bacteria are unicellular prokaryotic organisms. Prokaryotic, it does not have any well-organized nucleus or any membrane-bound organelle, as we all know. Next, the cell wall is rigid and made of peptidoglycan, also called murine or mucopeptide. So cell wall is composed of peptidoglycan and or mucopeptide, which is an aggregate of lipid and protein. Food reserve is in the form of glycogen and fat globules. So food is stored inside the cells in the form of glycogen and globules. Well-organized nucleus absent. As we know about the prokaryotic cell, it lacks well-organized nucleus. Instead of these well-organized nucleus, these bacteria have double-stranded DNA which lies coiled inside the cytoplasm, and this is called the nucleoid. So in place of a well-organized nucleus, it has double-stranded DNA coiled in the cytoplasm called nucleoid, or that is naked DNA lies in the cytoplasm being coiled rather. We must say it supercoiled, not only coiled, because it is coiled more than the chromosomes that are present in the eukaryotic cells. And then are the ribosomes, which are of 70S type. And in eukaryotic cells, the ribosomes are of 80S type. This 70S type of ribosome consists of two subunits of 50S plus 20S. So 50 plus 20, which is 70S type of ribosome. Next, the cell organelles such as mitochondria, ER, that is endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex are absent. So these all three organelles are membrane-bound organelles which are lacked in the prokaryotic cells but are present in the eukaryotic cell. Being prokaryotic cell, bacteria lacks mitochondria, ER, and Golgi complex. Rather, all the well-organized or membrane-bound cell organelles. Respiratory enzymes are present on the inner surface of cell membrane. So in case of eukaryotic cells, we have the respiratory enzymes inside the mitochondria, but in case of prokaryotic cells or in bacteria or the organisms under kingdom Monera, the respiratory enzymes lie in the inner side of cell membrane. Next is nutrition include photoautotrophic, chemoautotrophic, saprotrophic, and parasitic. So it has all the 4 kinds of nutrition. Photoautotrophic forms have bacteriochlorophyll and chlorobium chlorophyll in place of typical chlorophyll. So these bacteria, rather the photoautotrophic bacteria lacks the typical or original chlorophyll. In place of that, they have bacteriochlorophyll or the chlorobium chlorophyll. Binary fission is the common mode of multiplication, and sexual reproduction is absent, but the gene recombination occurs by conjugation. So conjugation helps in the recombination of genes in bacteria, and the most common mode of multiplication is the binary fission. Next is size and shape of bacteria. So the smallest of all known cellular organisms. So bacteria are the smallest of all known cellular organism, that is unicellular organism. Bacillus forms are 10 micron in length and 0.2 to 1 micron in diameter. So the bacillus forms have 10 micron of length and 0.2 to 1 micron of diameter. Spherical forms of 0.5 to 1 micron in diameter. Beggiatoa mirabilis. Beggiatoa mirabilis is the largest bacterium. This is the importance of Beggiatoa mirabilis, that it is the largest bacterium known, of 16 to 45 micron in diameter. Next is the Bacillus busheli is the longest bacterium. It is the longest of 80 micron in length. The largest being the Beggiatoa mirabilis and the longest being the Bacillus busheli. Next is the Dialistin pneumocyntes, is the smallest bacterium known, of 0.15 to 0.31 micron in size. So Dialistin pneumocyntes is the smallest bacterium known to scientists till date. Next we come to the classification of bacteria based on shape. So based on shape, we can classify bacteria into cocci or singular coccus, bacilli singular bacillus, spirilla singular spirillum, and vibrio. So let us come in details into all these classification of bacteria based on size. So the first one is the cocci. It is oval or spherical in shape, called micrococcus is when it occurs singly. So here we can see micrococcus. The first one, a group of monococci. It is called micrococcus or monococcus also. This is the first one, is the micrococcus, or it is also called the monococcus when the bacteria occurs singly. Next is the diplococcus. Here the second one is the diplococcus. Second image is of diplococcus. We can see here the cells occur in pair, that is in twos. Next is tetracoccus when found in fours. When found in fours, it is called tetracoccus. And streptococcus when found in chain. Here this one, this long chain is the streptococci. Chain of, say here it's written clearly, chain of cells. So when it occurs in the form of chain, it is called streptococci. Then staphylococcus when found in grape-like clusters. Here this one, these two are the staphylococcus, grape-like bunch of cell as mentioned. And Sericinae when found in packets of 8 or 64. The last one being the Sericinae cubical packet of cells. Next is the bacilli, singular bacillus. They're rod-shaped without any flagella. May occur singly. When they occur singly, it is called bacillus. In pair, diplobacillus, and in chain, streptobacillus. So the bacterium which occurs singly are called by their name, that is Bacillus or Coccus. When found in pair, they are called Diplococcus or Diplobacillus, whatever it is. And when found in chain, it is called Streptobacillus here, and in case of Coccus, it will be called Streptococcus. Here we have the images. Spore bearing bacillus, the first one, the spore bearing bacillus Clostridium tetani, we know it causes the tetanus, that is the causative agent of tetanus. Here is the image of that bacterium, Clostridium tetani. Next is Bacillus tuberculosis, those are also bacillus and of rod shaped. Then flagellated bacillus, they are all flagellated bacillus are also present, that is they also occur in nature. And Diplobacillus, see here it occurs in pair of 2, so they are called Diplobacillus. The next is the Spirilla, and the singular is called Spirillum. They are coiled like a corkscrew. Nothing is more required for this bacterium, just to know that they are coiled like a corkscrew, and example is Spirillum and Spirochet. And here is the image of a Spirillum, and we can see it is like corkscrew or coiled. Next and the last one being the Vibrio. They are motile comma-shaped bacteria with flagellum at one end. May be present, may not be present. It depends on the bacteria whether the flagellum is present or not. Here we have image of Vibrio cholerae, which is the bacterium that causes cholera. So they are comma-shaped bacteria and are called Vibrio. So this much for this video, and the next one, that is the Kingdom Monera part 2. We are going to discuss about the flagellation of bacteria, structure of bacteria, and the modes of nutrition.